Hey there, guys. Okay, I think we should. I'm really hoping we're live now, right? I'm really hoping we're live now. It looked like there was two encoders, so let me know if you guys can hear me and if this sounds good. If it does, then we're about to jump in here live. And yeah, I think we should be good. I'm gonna do a little tester here. Okay, I think we should. There we go. Look at that. It sounds beautiful. Okay. Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm sorry about that delay. Honestly, I just screwed it up. I didn't realize that they had a new layer for going live on YouTube. It's been a while since we streamed Saber Dice to YouTube, and apparently now you don't just go live in OBS, but you also have to go live on YouTube. But now I think we got everything sorted. And how's everybody doing? Let me know how it's going. A voice from the other side. Hey, it's good. Oh my god, there's so many commenters. Wait. All right, let me scroll back up here to the top while I was panicking and frustrated at my computer system. Guys, if you guys have questions, let us know in the comments. I'm going to probably have to scroll up and down to find them. I'm going to probably have to scroll up and down to find them. Or maybe I can do that over here. Hold on. Maybe I can have two screens up so screen can show active, and then I have a second chat over here. Is everybody still alive? Are we all washing our hands? We're not touching our faces, right? Are we all doing that right? I think that's how that goes. Wow, Cody is real. He seems so fantasy. I don't know what that means. All right, holy crap, we got a lot of commenters in here. So, hello everybody. What's going on? Corb, Pyrus, Paul, Storm, Simon, Leonis, Jeffrey, Pyrus again, Paul again. Infinity with an E. I see all you guys. What's going on, everybody? All right. So, I just wanted to hang out with you guys. And just see what everybody's doing with all this crazy quarantine. Let us know where you guys are from. All right. So, if you guys are from Brazil or Texas or, I don't know, Alaska. Is that all the places I know? I know 3 places. Texas, Brazil, and Alaska. I don't know any other places than that. That is the end of the world. Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? All right, we're just hanging out. Here. Oh my gosh, there's so many questions coming in. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, let me. We're gonna answer some questions today, guys. I thought we would do an old school call for aid. I don't know if you guys saw that old school cringe content. Right? If you guys remember, I used to take a question and make a 10-minute video out of it. I don't do that anymore. Oh, sorry. Maybe we'll do it live now. I thought that would be the treat. Ottawa, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Oklahoma again, Palm Springs, baby. Peterborough, Cali, Serbia. Okay, cool. Canada, Montana. Ancient Black Dragon Boss ideas. Question. I don't think that's a place that you're from. Lithuania, Idaho, Canada, Brazil is actually here. Thank God. We're doing good in Redding, California. Okay, Rome, Italy. Quarantine 4th week. Oh man, Manuel, we're with you, man. We're with you. Okay, stay strong out there. We see videos now. The world has never been more connected, and I know shit's crazy out there. And by the way, I'm gonna probably I'm gonna curse a little bit on stream. Don't demonetize me, YouTube. Indiana, Kansas, Oregon, Ohio, Georgia, Australia. Golly, the internet is amazing. Eastlake, Ohio, Texas, Cali, Florida, Nashville, Australia, Kitchener, Ontario. Is that what it is? Oh, South Dakota. Little shout out to South Dakota. Fun fact, that's where I was born. I was born on an Air Force base out in California for $7 because my dad was in the military, and that's how much their medical bill was to have me. Meanwhile, fast forward the clock 25 years, when I had my kid, and the hospital bill is holy crap, the hospital bill is thousands and thousands. I don't even remember. What is it, $3,500 to have a kid? $5,500? I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea what we paid. We just paid lots of money. Colorado, Germany. Hey, what's going on, Germany? Tennessee, Chicago, Florida. All right. So, I think we should answer some questions. Do some old school call for aid stuff. maybe talk about how everybody is gaming online. Is everybody jumping ship to Fantasy Grounds and Roll20 right now? Let me know if you guys are able to keep playing your games. I can tell you what I can see on my end. On YouTube metrics, it shows me like the common things that people type in to find the channel, right? And like forever, it's always been like Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder, Starfinder, Taking 20. People actually search for the channel that way. And right now, it's like Roll20, Fantasy Grounds, Fantasy Grounds, Fantasy Grounds, Fantasy Grounds, Roll20, Fantasy Grounds. How do I play online? Fantasy Grounds, Roll20, Fantasy Grounds. So I know that everybody is trying anything that they can to keep their games going. So let me know how that's working for everybody. If you guys are jumping ship over to playing online. Oh no, my group is suspended. No, starting a game on Astral. Okay, Roll20 has been different. Still figuring it out. Using a combo of Google Chat and Roll20. Okay, so I did script a video for you guys. It's done. I scripted the whole thing. I don't know how I can show my desktop. I'll figure that out. I'll work on that. I will figure out how to do that. Here, let me see if I can. Let's duplicate. Duplicate this. Okay, let's do chat with chat and background. All right, let's go background. Add a background to it. Okay. And oh, you know what? I bet I could do. I bet I could just do this. I bet I could just do this, guys. I bet I could do this. Display capture, so it captures everything on the display. Let's go middle display. Yeah, okay, that looks good. Display 1, okay. So it's capturing what's all down there. All right, we're all good. We're gonna slide this down in front of the background. Hey, look at that. That's all fancy pants. All right, now you guys can see what I see. And then, yeah, you can see my chaos here of online play. So I do have a video scripted. I know the chat's blocking all of it, but I've got this is the script for this week's video on talking about different things you guys can do to keep your games going online. So if you guys have anything that I need to maybe add in that video before I finish shooting it and filming it and editing it, let me know if you guys are playing on anything else. Astral did make the list, by the way. Astral did make the list. So let's go ahead and we'll dump that. All right, let's start taking some questions. Okay. Oh, by the way, if you guys have a question, put 3 question marks or 4 question marks in front of it so I can kind of see them as we're going through the chat. Would you cover how to play on, would you cover how-to plays on unofficial tabletop games? Short answer, no. What was your... I'm sorry, Keith. I'm sorry. No, I don't have time to cover all the different games. I know that there's a whole bunch of games. Like there's like a Pokemon Tabletop Unlimited. Like I just don't have time to do all that. Toria asks, what was your biggest challenge when you first started DMing? Ooh, that's a great one. Railroading. Not railroading. I think that's everybody's biggest challenge because, and it's an excitement thing in my opinion. People get so excited. I've got this story in my head and I want to tell it and I want to share it with my group and it's going to be amazing and it's going to end like this. And that's not what being a Dungeon Master is. Playing Dungeons & Dragons, Pathfinder, Starfinder, whatever, tabletop role-playing games is a collaborative experience. So the biggest challenge for me was letting go. And when I started realizing that, hey, don't be an asshole, Cody. Let everybody tell their stories. Instantly, I got better. And so I think it's probably one of the newbie traps that people run into. Jacob asks, question, any and all advice for playing tabletop remotely would be most appreciated. We'll talk about that this week sometime. Paul asks, do you give magic items to fit the party or do you give random loot? Both. Fun fact, when I run like a pre-written adventure, I actually like to use the loot that's in the adventure. A, because it's there and it's easy and I don't got to pull it up or look it up or do any additional work. And B, because I like the idea of having like something static in the world. This is the loot. It doesn't matter that my player is a fighter that uses whips. This is a glowing battle axe. Okay, maybe he uses it, maybe he doesn't. You know, maybe he gives it to the barbarian and she's awesome with it. I don't know. It's not up to me. So I do like having static loot. Now, in addition to that, when I get ready to throw in some extra loot, that's when I'll be like, nah, that's cool. This is cool. This is cool. All right, that one. And then sometimes I'll just throw in just straight up loot tables because, dice, dice. Here we go. Manuel, have you ever DM'd a D&D campaign with black powder weapons in it? If so, have they improved the overall game experience or not? Why? Yes, it did not improve the experience. It sucks. Tanner, any questions for handling experience in a roleplay heavy campaign? Handling experience in a roleplay heavy campaign. If your group is super into, so it depends. I've got a video on that. Go watch that video. It's called like, is this the, and I'm doing this in the thumbnail, like, and I think the title of it is this the best way to level up? Go watch that video. What's a good way, Corb, what's a good way to start a campaign? In medias res. And yes, that is the right way to say that. I am a new DM and I have no clue how to go about it. I have a video on that. I don't know what it's called. I think it's called This is the Best Way to Start a D&D Campaign. Simon asks, what is the best way to keep players interested after playing an adventure? Easy. Always leave them wanting just a little bit more. 3 weeks on, 1 week off, guys. I'm telling you, it has changed my life. Don't play D&D every single week. That's crazy pants. Even if you play multiple games a week, like I do, schedule a whole week off. Don't do it every other week. That's not enough D&D. Don't do it every week. That's too much D&D. But 3 weeks on, 1 week off will keep your players wanting just a little bit more. It will change everything and make your game so much better, and you will never get another cancellation. I promise. Well, I mean, I don't really promise that, but whatever. Okay, yes, we can hear you. Yes, we can. Oh my God, there's so many. The chat just skipped. So in the middle there's a whole bunch of questions. Oh my God. All right. We'll answer a couple more and then we'll chat for a little bit. Alex says, how do you handle players trying to make nukes by farming uranium from seawater? I don't. Shane. Hey, what's up, Shane? What's up, buddy? Shane is in both of the Patreon campaigns. So if you guys didn't get a spot in the Patreon campaign, blame Shane. What's the best way to totally derail the DM's plans and leave him crying on the floor? Go fuck yourself, Shane. I love you, buddy. Gold Cape Stickman. How would you handle the player wanting to play a fiend like Imp or Armanity? Armanity? I don't know what that is. You will have to explain that to me. I'm sorry. Rocco put a question in all caps, so it's clearly important. I will try to read it as though he intended it. Are you going to make a video on Evil Dragon's boss plots? Bunch of question marks. No, I'm not. Where would you recommend I play Pathfinder online? Fantasy Grounds. And if you are looking for a group, check out the Taking 20 Discord channel. It's not in this video's description, but it's in like every other video's description. Just go to any recent video and go to the description, look through all the links and stuff, and you should find the Discord server for Taking 20. And it's got looking for group channel. In fact, my one and only mod for the thousands of people on that server, I only have one mod. Ricard, I absolutely love you, sir. You are a saint. He was messaging me today. He was like, yo, we gotta make some extra channels for the Looking for group because this is like blowing up and there's a lot of people looking for groups right now because of all this. And I was like, yeah. So, Ricard, I love you. Can you review Arkenforge? Okay, here's the deal. Arkenforge, it's on my radar. I believe I did a demo of it at Gen Con. I might be mistaken. It might have been another program, but I'm like 85% positive I demoed Arkenforge. And at the time, they were trying to push it to be a VTT. And I thought, I'm sorry. Look, guys, it's over. If you're a VTT entering today's market, you're boned, man. Because you're totally and completely wrecked. By the time that people start spending money on 5e content, on either Fantasy Grounds or on Roll20, and now D&D Beyond and on D20 Pro has official content now on it. People are going to be married to those systems. So I did not pay attention to Arkenforge because they were like, we have an awesome VTT. And I was like, you're way too late to the market. So I didn't really pay attention. However, people have kind of mentioned that to me. And I actually talked about Arkenforge in my video script. So it's on my radar. It's on my radar. It looked like for map building, it looked like a more expensive version of Dungeon Painter Studio. And by more expensive, I mean like a way more expensive version than Dungeon Painter Studio. Full disclosure, Dungeon Painter Studio has sponsored a lot of content for me, and I've been a big brand advocate for them forever, even before they were official sponsors. They have not paid me any money in months, just because of like Saber Dice kind of went away. So I haven't recently been sponsored by them, but I do have a very long relationship with them. $15 on Steam for Dungeon Painter Studio is insane. I legitimately would have paid $10, $15 a month. You buy it one time and it's yours for forever. And the best part about it is all the packs. So if you guys are looking to make maps for your Fantasy Grounds or Roll20 games, dude, one-time purchase of Dungeon Painter Studio will like, you don't need anything else. Other stuff might be cool and you might like it and you might still use other stuff, but you won't need it. If you want to make all the maps ever, just buy Dungeon Painter Studio. It's awesome. Mac asks, what are your top 3 classes to play? Bard, Wizard, Bard. Telefusion TV, will Gen Con still happen? I have no idea. My wife and I are like, holy crap. We don't know what's going to happen. So, we have no idea what's going to happen. Oh, why did that not transition over? Okay, there we go. There we go. Is that better? There, that's a little better. It's a little cleaner. Married to each platform? Yeah, Anon, the reason that people get married to each platform is because they get invested like $300 or $400. So if they want to jump and change platforms, they got to be out that money again. That's why I said that people end up getting married to those platforms, which is why picking a good platform is the way to go. Fantasy Grounds Unity is incredible. I know that I actually just got an email from Doug today. And he was like, yo, we're still in open beta, and, here are some of the things we're still tweaking and working on, but thanks for the feedback. Because I was talking to him about, I don't remember. I was talking to him about something. Because I'm playing around with the line of sight, and it's good. Man, it's really good. It's really, really good. Roll20 definitely has a bigger user base. Period. Fantasy Grounds will do some incredible stuff that I think Roll20, at least it's been a while since I've used Roll20, but when I made the jump to Fantasy Grounds from Roll20, Fantasy Grounds had more features except for line of sight, which Fantasy Grounds Unity has now added. So for me, it's kind of like, it's really just a no-brainer. And it's cheaper in the long run. It's actually way cheaper in the long run. If you guys do Roll20, this is personally my opinion of Roll20's pricing tiers. Their free tier is incredible value. It's really good. It legitimately is very good. Their $5 tier is pretty good. $60 a year is not terrible. $50 a year if you buy an annual is not terrible. Their $10 tier for their API is garbage in my opinion. If you're going to pay $10 a month to get access to API, which you have to go find the APIs and install them and learn how to work them to basically do the things that Fantasy Grounds can do. And if you want to sub to Fantasy Grounds, you'll do it at the same price. So, in my opinion, Roll20's free is good. Roll20's 5 is pretty okay. If you're going to pay $10 a month, don't even look at Roll20. Just jump on Fantasy Grounds. That's all my opinion based, though. And I am biased, by the way. So, take that as you will. How much should people be playing Legends of the Five Rings? I have no idea. A non-leader. All right, thanks, Cody. I'm about to Dungeon Painter Studio, so I'm getting mixed. About Dungeon Painter Studio, I'm getting mixed messages, like how the creator basically took the money and run. Okay. I mean, I'm telling you, I use it all the time. It's the best money you will ever spend. If you are worried about the $15 one-time purchase for Dungeon Painter Studio, I don't know what to tell you. I know that not everybody is super duper like loaded or anything, but the value for $15 in perpetuity, I think, is incredible. Do you prefer in real life games or Roll20 Fantasy Grounds? I thought I would prefer in real life games, and it's been a while since I've played some real or in person games. All of my games have pretty much been exclusively online, at least any long-term campaigns. I have had friends over that I kind of introduced to the game, and I don't know if maybe it was me introducing my friends, and they're not really gamers. I always had two groups growing up, right? I had all my sports friends that I could nerd out over stats and how amazing Vince Young and Colt McCoy were, and why Peyton Manning is a way better quarterback than Tom Brady ever thought about being, and that they came from that group, and I also had my nerd group, and never the twain shall meet. However, the sports group was like, so what's this Dungeons and Dragons stuff? You want to run a couple games? And I was like, yeah, fam, come on over. And so they did, and it was real casual. I think that's why I may have taken it too casually, because I didn't want to like over nerd them out. You know what I'm saying? And be super obsessive about it and like push them away. I wanted to just kind of be like, yo, this is fun. You're just hanging out with me and playing a game, and it's super cool. And I'm going to do some silly voices. You can or can't if you want to. And, we'll see. And I think I took it a little too casually. So I think I probably would prefer in real life. But honestly, my better gaming experiences have been online. Alex, how do you handle a party trying to commit mass suicide half an hour in on the first session? Rocks fall, everyone dies. AJ Bernard. That's not a question. Sorry, AJ. Hey, what's up, AJ? Okay. Check out Harmony and Strife. It's a good Legend of the Five Rings. Who's your favorite D&D online actual play to watch other than Critical Role? Honest to God. Okay, so there were two groups that I loved before Critical Role was ever a thing. I absolutely adored Acquisitions Incorporated because that was fun. It was silly. It was awesome. I don't think that they get nearly enough credit. I know everybody loves Matt Mercer, and I've met Matt. Hell, fun fact, I worked with Matt Mercer's aunt after I had already started taking 20 for like a year and a half. Like straight up, like his aunt was 2 cubicles down from me, and we talked about Matt a bit. And then Marisha flew in on the same plane with me from DFW to Gen Con 2 years ago. And so she was just a couple rows up. And so I had a chance to meet her and Matt at the baggage claim. Like they're just standing there at Gen Con. And we flew in the night before. And I was like, hey guys, what's up? Big fan. Just wanted to let you know, if you guys want to do an interview, hit me up, all those things. Their schedule was slammed. And I love them. But Critical Role is not all things everything. I will tell you, the group, there's a fun fact, there's a group on YouTube that got me to start YouTube. And it's by Matt Click. And Nate with WASD20, Tim with Tabletop Terrors, Juice, my buddy Juice from Michigan, from Tabletop Gaming with Juice. He was in that game. And and Barker. I don't want to forget Barker. It was incredible. I also think that when I started YouTube after Matt, I started doing like the kind of catchy thumbnails and stuff like that. And Matt, I'm pretty sure Matt Click hates my fucking guts. And I love the guy. I think he's super, super awesome. So I always thought that was funny. I always got the vibe from Matt when he would tweet, he would like subtweet and stuff like that. I don't think Matt likes me at all. Juice is awesome. Nate is super amazing. I've had a few conversations with Tim. Tim and his brother are awesome. I love those guys. But they actually inspired me. So if you guys are looking for a really good group to watch with like way back in the day vibes, it's not super overproduced, go watch The Provokers on Matt Click's channel, A Fistful of Dice, here on YouTube. It's called A Fistful of Dice, like a fistful of dollars, because Matt was a big Fistful of Dollars fan. So he named his channel A Fistful of Dice. It's all one word. Go watch the Provoker series. And by the way, comment on, if you do go watch the Provoker series, do me a favor and comment, be like, Cody from Taking 20 says he loves this. And just see, because I don't think he can stand me. Massacre Project says, hi all. What's going on, man? How are you? Or woman, whatever. It's all good. Alex asks, Fantasy Grounds or Roll20? I don't know, you'll have to rewind this video. AJ's jumping in and answering that. Oh my god, there's so much stuff. How would you run a fun festival in D&D? My players rolled through all the festival games and started to get bored, and we had some time to do some time skips. So what do you recommend? Do whatever you think is the most interesting thing. right? So if you're like, oh, this is going to be super amazing and incredible, and I've got all these mini games for my players to play. Well, if you didn't set it up, your players might not have the expectation that that's what they want to do. And if they're not engaging with the content that you're talking about, then move forward. Move forward in the content. And that's really it. And I know that it's a hard lesson to learn, but sometimes we fail. Another fun story. I love puzzles. I talked about this in a meeting today with one of my patrons. I love puzzles. I love puzzle dungeons. They are the most fun thing ever for me. Meanwhile, I'm running Jim Davis from WebDM and Jonathan and David and I think Will through a campaign on Saber Dice. And I basically remade a Sudoku puzzle, and I took all the numbers out and I put glyphs in. That's it. Sudoku puzzle. And I thought, this is going to be awesome. And they're going to have to fight while they're trying to solve it. So some people will solve the puzzle who are into the puzzle, and other people will fight. The second that Sudoku puzzle showed up, Jim Davis basically had a hissy fit on stream. And he was like, I hate math. Math is stupid. You put math in D&D. Like, he was really upset about it. So sometimes you fail. And you might think that all the carnival games are going to be super fun, but if they're not into it, you got to move on. Take your lumps. Do I prefer to play with miniatures or without? With miniatures! Holy balls, yes! Fun fact, Remy. Great question, by the way. Fun fact, and I think I talk about this from time to time. In 2006, I was the third highest ranked player in the state of Texas for Dungeons & Dragons miniatures, the war game. I was also undefeated, so I'm assuming player rank DCI, Wizards of the Coast DCI rank 1, and DCI rank number 2 were also undefeated because I didn't lose a game. I love it. I tried Warhammer. I tried Kill Team. Man, give me a grid. We could play that game so much faster and easier and quicker. 6 spaces out. Boom, flanking, this and that. Here are the cool monster abilities I have. I cast a spell. Man, that game was so good. God, that game was so good. I'm so desperate for them to remake it in 5e. WizKids has already made all these miniatures. If Wizards would team back up with them to release like an online rule book or just a rule book with it, with all the stats in it, dude, you could do it just like Warhammer does whenever they release a new edition. Here's one book. It's all the new stats for these X miniatures, and they have so many miniatures available that you could, man, they wouldn't have to make new molds or anything. They could just pump back out the same ones. The paint quality is irrelevant. I would play that game for sure. Why do I have sunglasses on? Because if you can see in my eyes right here, and the shadows being cast on my face, in order to light my green screen up nice and evenly, I have to have some big lights in my eyes. And also, they make me look super cool, man. Let's see. I think we've answered quite a few of these. Have I ever played... Graculus says, have you ever played in a nautical campaign? I've not. I mean, it was a yes-no question. But no. Zella Fallon. I'm recently low on inspiration to write for my campaign. Ooh, great question topic. I put off prep and just improvise every session and feel bad for not putting the effort in. How can I get that inspiration spark back? That is a wonderful question. I would analyze that and ask you, are you burned out? The second question I would ask you, if you tell me you're not burned out, is do you play every single week? If you do play every single week, go to 3 sessions on, 1 session off. If you are burned out, take a 2 or 3 week break. Binge watch random garbage shows on Netflix and Amazon and HBO and whatever, and get some inspiration back. The next thing I would tell you is maybe inspiration doesn't have to be plots and stories as much as it is places. We did a Patreon one-on-one meeting today where we were talking about inspiration. I told him, he goes, where can I get some more inspiration? Do you have anything that you would recommend? And I said, yes, I would recommend watching Disney movies. Holy balls, Disney are probably the greatest world builders in the world. I can't think of anybody who just like the whole company just they just make great world building after great world building. You slide between their movies like Coco and the Land of the Dead and all that, and the world building and the rules and the laws that they set up over there for that, and you flip the script back to Moana or to Frozen. And they make just incredible worlds. We just watched Onward. My wife and I got really lucky. We took the kid to go see Onward in theaters before all this quarantine stuff happened. Fantastic D&D movie. Oh my God, it's just filled with adult jokes of D&D nostalgia. But the world building was also excellent. If watching things and stories are not inspiring to you, switch it up and go look at visuals. Go put visuals in your head. One of the best places you can go to is DeviantArt, or find like a really good Reddit subforum. I think that there's a really fantastic Reddit subforum called like, if you guys know what I'm talking about, please help me out here. I think it's called Fantasy Bodyscapes or something like that. And they basically take body forms and they incorporate it into these big landscapes. So you'll have like a giant that's dead and fallen over, and his chest is the mountain, and his knees and his arms and his elbows. Or it'll be like this wonderful, beautiful painting in a garden, and they've got like a hand that is, in the bushes and stuff, and a woman's face, and just incredibly inspiring stuff. So go check that stuff out. Good question. What happened to Saber Dice? Maybe the story for another time. That Canadian, since when did Joshua Hill start hosting this? I don't know who that is. Who is Josh Hill? Jonah Hill? Did you mean Jonah? Did you try to insult me and then not even get the name right? Will there not be any more Saber Dice After Dark? There will not be. What happened to Saber Dice? Now is not the time. Chicken Man. Hello, Cody. Congrats on 200K. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Darla1 answered that at Taking 20 Imaginary Landscapes. So I'm sorry, I've got my phone going off, but I'm not a professional streamer enough to mute it. I'm just gonna answer this right in the middle of the stream. I don't care. Oh, guys, are y'all not ready to get out of the house yet? I am so ready to get out of here. Holy crap. Okay. All right. Something about Warhammer. I don't know. I saw something. I don't know. Guys, there's so many questions. I'm sorry. I can't keep up with all of them. And I know I missed like a huge chunk of questions earlier, but Frog the Nerd. What's the deal with the sunglasses? We talked about that. I like the name though. Frog the Nerd. That's nice. It's MC Cody or Inception Cody. He goes on and on and on. Yes, it is. Oh, wait. We got to answer this question that we talked about earlier. Rocco's Black Dragon boss plot ideas, please. Okay. Here's a plot idea for your Black Dragon. He's greedy. And that greed is causing harm to other people. You got it. Opinion on sentient magic items. They're dope. I love them. That's my opinion. Discord setup and usage. Like a video on that? You just go to Discord, you find friends and you add them to your friends list, and then you call them and you hit turn on video. And then there's another plus button at the top that says add another friend to the video. And then you do that, and then you are playing D&D online. Will there be any new Fantasy Grounds Unity tutorials? Yes, I'm pretty sure. So here's the thing with the Fantasy Grounds Master Series. I was all excited about the Fantasy Grounds Master Series. And like right as I got started in it, they announced Fantasy Grounds Unity. And I was like, oh, I guess I'll wait. And then they were like, it's coming out in October. And it didn't. And then, like, 2 years later, we're in the open beta. So, I think that's or I don't know what the timing is, but that's what it felt like to me. So, oh my gosh, there's so many questions. Is it a bit sunny? Yes. Question. Do you think a Death Knight is a good boss fight for a level 10 group? 2 druids, 1 sorcerer, 1 paladin sorcerer, 1 fighter sorcerer paired with a bone claw and a level 10 domain cleric. No, it's not a good fight. I will explain why. Are you ready? Because 5e is all about action economy. If you want your boss to get absolutely rolled over immediately, then put your players up against one big thing. When you put them up against one really big thing, they will just action economy it to death. they win, even if they hit lighter and all of those things. So if you are pairing it with smaller things that can distract, or better yet, pull the minion system from 4E. I know, 4E, I'm not a big fan either, but the minion system was genius. This is the best thing that Perkins came up with over there. They hit just as hard, they have the same AC, but they have like 1 hit point. So the second they take damage, they die. Do that. Pair that up with some minions to soak up some action economy, and you'll have a more balanced encounter. If you would be a D&D character, what class race would you be? I would be a human bard. I don't have any additional things on that. That's who I am. That's who I feel like I am. I feel like I'm a bit of a jack of all trades and a master of none. Like I'm okay at Photoshop. Like I photoshopped all of this. I mean, not this little hexy honeycomb looking thing here. Why can I not? Oh my gosh, okay, that's the wrong way, so I want to go this way. There we go. Not this honeycomb thing. I definitely stole that image. But the rest of it I made. But I'm not a master at it. It's okay, but I'm not a master at it. So I'm a jack of all trades and I'm a master of none. Question from Lieros. What to do when the players exclude the DM and treat him more as the villain rather than a player who plays the world of the game? Ooh, good question. So you have to ask yourself, is that from you or is that from their previous experiences? Are the players upset because they've not had good experiences with their past dungeon masters, and so they treat you as hostile because that's their default setting? If it is past DMs, then continue to work with them. A good, fast way to gain the truth is, man, there's a lot of little subtleties. The fastest way to gain the trust, I said truth, to gain the trust of your players is to roll in the open. Make them roll, or you roll in the open just like they do. So I don't think that it's important to be like, oh, what's the armor class? Is it 17 or is it 18? I don't think I think it's fine for the players to know that. That stuff doesn't matter. So let them know. Roll in the open. That would go a long way towards gaining trust. Another really subtle way is like body language and tone of voice, getting excited. Smile at them more, and they will trust you more. You think I'm joking, but I'm not. Smile at them more. When they land a crit, get excited with them. Don't be like, oh, you crit my monster. And that will start to push you away from that concept of he's the evil dungeon master that's against us. Be excited with them, even though you're like, I'm totally gonna fuck them in the next room. That's okay to say. You can think like that, but be excited with them, and then they'll slowly start to build that trust bridge, a bridge of trust, if you will. Do you still have beef with Roll20 after the incident with Roll20 CE? I should have just stopped reading that. No, I don't have beef with Nolan. I want to say something. I have no regrets about anything that I said in that video because it was all the truth. Because he said it. I mean, that's just the short of it. That's why he didn't deny it. That's why Jim Davis, who kind of threw me under the bus, who was in that meeting, threw me under the bus also. That's why Jim didn't deny it either. He was like, yeah, he said it, but I feel differently than Cody. Okay, you're allowed. My biggest issue with that video was that I didn't script it. If I would have just scripted it and made my point a little bit more succinct, I think it would have been fine. Being able to say, here's exactly what I'm trying to get out in a short, succinct way would have, I think, gone a long way for that. Fun fact. I had an individual, and I'm trying to do this in the best way possible not to get them in trouble. I had an individual wearing a Roll20 shirt come up to me at Gen Con this year, right next to Jacob Buds and his now fiance Spencer and my wife, while we were hanging out in one of the main hallways. And she was just like, hey, big fan. And then we had a nice little discussion. And so after that discussion, I was like, yeah, I'm really glad that I put the truth out there, because the issue was not that we got denied. It was the tokenization that I think was the biggest issue. Like that was the worst. Just straight up tokenized. Oh, look how smart we look because we hired this person, and it was just like, dude, you just crushed everything, all the value to that person down to what boxes they check. Like that's terrible, man. So that's my only issue, is that I didn't script it, is I talked off the cuff. Do I know of an online source for the Pathfinder books as PDF? Yes, Paizo's website. The Bone Claw and Cleric are on the Death Knight side. Okay, I'm sorry. Other than TSR Wizards of the Coast, what other gaming systems have you played? For example, MERP, GURPS, Battletech, Palladium. Man, I haven't played a whole lot of non-D20 stuff. I dabbled with Fantasy Flight Games system. My issue with their Star Wars games is I get what they're trying to do. I get it. But the issue is it's so taxing on the Dungeon Master, because the Dungeon Master has to go with like, okay, what's a little success? What's a good success? What's a great success? What's a, little failure? What's a, okay failure? What's a, you failed really bad on everything. Every single roll has this gradation of how successful, not just pass fail. And it's just taxing. It's just taxing, in my opinion. Wrath and Glory was fun. We played Torg Eternity. We streamed that. Dude, I mean, I get that it was cards, but it was fun. And you can watch that game on Saber Dice. In that, you can watch that. You can watch it on Saber Dice. Jeremy with Black Magic Craft was in that game. David Friant was in that game. I was in that game. And Jacob Buds was in that game. And it's kind of this like crazy modern day. And then Daryl, the writer, the lead writer for Torg Eternity, ran us through the game. So how nice is that? Anyways, that it was like modern day, but there were like crazy phases of reality that we could phase in and out of, and we had to play a bunch of cards and trade them. It was wild. It was really, really, really wild. Okay, your roll 20 more Fantasy Grounds. That's what you're using now. Yes, I will make more Fantasy Grounds stuff. Wait, I gotta remove this. Okay. Maskiner Project. Hey, buddy. I know exactly what you're talking about. Let's not throw those up on the middle of the chats. Okie dokie. Okay. Do you play Magic the Gathering, and have you heard of Blades in the Dark? I freaking loved Magic the Gathering growing up. I would travel around and play in state tournaments. I loved it. So growing up at 6 years old, I played Pokemon trading card game. I went from that to Magic the Gathering. I went from that to Dragon Ball Z trading card game. Then I went from that back to Magic. And in my like late teens, early 20s, I was at Friday Night Magic every night. And I came this close to breaking the format at a Star City Games 2K during the Alara block with all that awful Jund Cascade bullshit with my Goblin aggro deck, which had a turn 3 kill on it. So this close, but you can't beat Cascade. Bloodbraid Elf into Blightning, like what do you do? Can't do anything about that. Are you familiar with Star Wars 5e? No, I am not, but it's cool that it's out there. Hey, Cody, good work on 200K. Oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate that, Patrick. That's very nice of you. Shane, again, how do I sign up for the Star Wars Patreon group? You can make it. I'm not doing it. Sorry. What about modules or settings outside of 5e? Do you read any faves, Veins of Earth, Blood in the Chocolate, Morkborg? I love, not outside of D&D. I'm just about through the first two Witcher books because I watched The Witcher on Netflix, okay? I watched The Witcher with Henry Cavill, and it is Cavill like travel. And I was like, I finished the first season, and I looked over at my wife and I was like, what the fuck was that? Was that good? Was that awful? Was that super cringy? Was that like genius? Like, what did we just watch? So I went back and I watched the second time, and the second time through that show, I was like, this is genius. I love all of this. They totally blew the CGI budget in the first scene, and the golden dragon was hot garbage. But if you can get through the Golden Dragon cringe, I loved The Witcher. So I started reading the books. The Last Wish and Sword of Destiny are the first 2 books in that series. They're both pretty good. They are. It took me about 4 or 5 stories in before I realized that Sapkowski, the author, was just rewriting all of the Disney movies we grew up with, like Beauty and the Beast and Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and all of that, and that's all he was writing. And when I figured that out, I was like, I don't know if this guy should be rich. I mean, like this. None of this is his. He didn't make any of this. And then I read tons of Salvatore. I love Salvatore. What else do we got? Hey, which is better to invest in Compendium, D&D Beyond or Fantasy Grounds? Have both, love both. I can't pick one because I really do like both of them. In fact, I use D&D Beyond with my Fantasy Grounds, and I know that D&D Beyond is working on a virtual tabletop, but dude, that could be a year and a half out. Like, do you want to not have a VTT for a year and a half? Best bang for your buck right now, get you up and running. I would go buy the 5e rule set, subscribe to Fantasy Grounds Unity for $9.99 a month, so all your friends play for free. You just have to have the $10 subscription. Buy 5e content, and then buy the monster manual for $30, and you're up and running. That's what I would do. Best bang for your buck. That's what I would do. I know it might seem a bit weird, but have you played The Witcher RPG? It's pretty good. No, I have not. Also, I have downloaded recently on Steam all 3 of the Witcher games because they were on sale. I have not played any of those either. So I plan to. Oh, by the way, real quick, guys, while I talk about this, 2 things. First off, the Mistwalker is on sale. It's half off. So if you guys want to go snag that, it's a 5e class that I wrote. And it's basically like Nightcrawler is awesome in D&D and does cool Nightcrawler things. So yes, it moves better than the monk, but no, it does not outdamage everybody. That's $2. Link is in the description because it's half off right now. And then the other thing is, if you guys want to hang out with me, after all of this stream, we're going to go hang out on Twitch. I'm going to play some games over there. It's like my it's not on the Taking 21. There's a link down there. If you guys want to follow or do all that cool stuff, when we're done here, because I don't want this video to be terribly too long, and we're getting close to an hour, so at an hour I think I'm going to cut it. And then we're going to jump over to Twitch, and you guys can keep hanging out with me over there. So if you guys want to follow that, that is Smartass Cody. Okay. What is your dream D&D collab? Honestly, I don't think I have any. I know how awful that sounds, but I've collaborated with a lot of really awesome people. And because of what I did in the background when I started here on YouTube for kind of putting together a little Facebook organization of all of the D&D YouTubers, I pretty much have met or talked with everybody. There's a couple of new up-and-comers that I haven't talked with, but I've really worked with a lot of people. I mean, it sounds great to work with Perkins, but I think I would be stressed out the whole time. It sounds great to work with Crawford. I think he would intimidate me a bit. Jason Bowman is like 6'8", so if I did something wrong to piss him off, that would scare me. Eric Mona has a very intense personality when I met him. So he would also scare me. I'll tell you who I would not be scared of. Owen Casey Stevens is a sweetheart, and I would work with him any moment of any day. And I would also, for the 5e team, I would love to work with Merles. I got to meet Merles as well, and he seems super chill. So I would love to work with either of those guys. I got to meet Marisha, and I don't know. Dream D&D collab. Okay, I tell you what, I got a weird one. I would love to take Travis Frederick. And you guys, you might have to Google who Travis Frederick is. Turns out he plays D&D. So him and Hunter Pence, and then some random Dallas Cowboy players would be fun to do. How is the COVID stuff affecting me, my man? You know what? My wife is a teacher. So, and I've been a YouTuber now for, I think almost 2 years full-time, or a year and a half full-time. I don't know, something. And so we're kind of in the new house. So we've been like freaked out for not wanting to go out. But outside of that, it's been okay. The kid has been home longer than we expected. not being able, we like to go and run and do. That's our thing down here in Texas, especially around springtime. Spring, because summer is really hot. So spring right now is the time where we're like, let's get out, let's go, hit up some outdoor malls, and let's go shop and go to Six Flags, and let's go. And we're not able to do all that. So that stuff's been kind of a bummer. But we are used to all being in the house at the same time because my wife is a teacher. So for the entirety of summer, she's off and the kid's off and I'm home. So I make a video a week, a week and a half maybe. Every 10 days I put out a video. So we're okay. I'm more freaked out about everybody else. That's been the worst part, is the stress for other people. So if you guys are being furloughed for work, or you're having those issues, hang in there. We will get through this. Ernest Eastman, what a great name. Hey Cody, I want to start playing D&D with people online, but I don't know where to start. Any suggestions? Why, yes, Ernest. I'm so glad you asked. There will be a video later this week going through everything. We're going to talk about virtual tabletops. We're talking about video chat, the best video chat software. We're going to talk about music. We're going to talk about where to get maps. We're going to talk about where to get tokens. We're going to talk about everything you want to know. I think that's literally what I'm going to make the title. Everything you want to know about playing D&D online. It'll be long, but I want people to understand everything is going to be in that video. How can I make a good ranger? The class sucks bad. I don't know. I don't read classes. I know I wrote a class, but, Oh, man. What else do we got? Question. What do you think of a DM giving players tips as to what they can do? Do you feel like that's metagaming, or is it cool in your books? Sometimes players need leads. Newer players or shy players, or if the group has too many passive people, sometimes they need leads. There are moments in my campaigns where I will go, so I'm assuming you guys all go back and sleep. If you're not, what are you doing? Because sometimes players will just stand there and be like, do you want to go back and sleep? I don't know. Do you want to go back and sleep? I think we should camp. Do you want to camp? I don't know. What should we do? Should we go talk to that guy? Should we go back to that city? And look, it happens because everybody's afraid of stepping on other people's toes. I mean, like, we're going to go back to town. And so if you don't have a player that will take charge of the game, that can happen. So it's okay to lead the witnesses a bit. Where'd you get that gorgeous mug? Oh, okay, cool. This was from Scarborough Fair. There is a... Wait, I think there's a thing at the bottom. It's got a Texas, but everything in Texas has a Texas stamp. They made in Texas by W something Woods in Wood. It's got the word wood twice, but I don't know what the other thing says. So they got their brand was a little rough there. Let me tell you our house rule. I would like to... No, sorry. I'm kidding. I love you. Be a dex-based fighter instead of a ranger. That's a really good way. Chaotic Core. Do you have any tips for DMs wanting to start hosting a new system? Yes. Set the right expectations with your group. Tell them, guys, we are learning this system together. So either your group is going to stop and look up rules whenever they come up, and that's how the whole group learns together. Or you are going to make a judge ruling. Everyone is going to accept it right then and there. And then you can correct it on the next session. But whichever way you want to go, or maybe it's a bit of a balance between it, where the small stuff, the stuff that the monsters do, you make the ruling on, period. But maybe the abilities that the players have, you want to stop and get right so the players don't feel cheated. Whatever you do that, set the right expectations. That would be my advice, is to set the right expectations with the whole group. We are learning. Here is how to handle our rules. Which old campaign setting would you like to see back in D&D? Dragonlance. Period. Do you have any suggestions for apps or websites for real-time maps? I want to play over Discord, but have no maps mini makes. Yeah, keep an eye out for video this week. It'll have some links and a whole bunch of stuff. I don't have time to cover it all right now. So video coming this week. I know everybody's asking, how do I play online? How do I play online? How do I play online? That video is coming. It's scripted and done. I've just got to stop and shoot it. So, all right, guys, let's take like 3 or 4 more questions. This has been a tremendous amount of fun. We're going to move over to Twitch here in about 5-10 minutes as we wind this down. So if you guys have any more questions, get them over here. Because over on Twitch, I think we're going to play some Human Fall Flat. We might play some Hearthstone. We might play... we're in the middle of our run for Bioshock. So if you guys want to come hang out with me over there, 18 and up, please. I'm 18. I know I've dropped a few F-bombs in this chat, but 18 and up, pretty please. Because I'll get a little raunchier over there. And I'm sorry, when Bioshock has all those jump scares come out at me, I say what I say, what's the oldest game in my collection? Currently is just 3.5, and that's only because my dad is like, D&D's the devil! And so I didn't manage to keep all my AD&D 2-hit armor class 0 books. So all I've got left is 3.5. The other books did not survive. If you have any questions, okay, here we go. But I don't like Twitch. I don't know what to tell you. Sorry. We're gonna move over there. What older books would you like to be brought forward? I think we kind of talked about that. Thanks for all the info. Congrats on 200K, homie. Appreciate it, Cam. Thank you much. What else we got? I think that's pretty much it. Oh, here we go. Touche. Touche asks, I'm in a group for several months now, and a lot of players still break up the flow a lot by having to look up how their spells and action works. Is it too early to say something? Fuck. I'm not a good person to take advice from because it comes with experience on this. Because here's the deal. I'm of the opinion that it's 2020, and if you want to find people to play with online, you can. And so my tolerance level for BS and shenanigans or laziness is all but gone at this point. And I know that makes me a jerk. And it's also the context. I talked about bringing my friends, my sports friends over and playing some games with them. I have a lot of tolerance there. For, random people online, it's like, yo, dude, I'm DMing online. So I'm putting together maps. I'm dynamically lighting them. I'm getting your tokens set up. I'm learning the game system. I'm doing everything. Can you please learn how advantage and disadvantage work, or how... sorry, Shane. Versatile longsword, how that works. If you could please learn that. So, context matters. Is it a real life friend? Is it a coworker? Is it your boyfriend? Your girlfriend? Your significant other? Like, you need to have a little bit more patience. If it's not, and take that as you were. Basically, deal with it as long as you can until you're ready to shoot yourself in the face. Or something along that. All right, guys. I think that's it. This has been a lot of fun. Oh, Shane, I'm sorry. But I'm not sorry. This has been a lot of fun. So we're going to move over to Twitch. Over on twitch.tv. So if you guys want to come keep hanging out with me, we're going to load up some video games. And we're going to just hang. It's 18 and up. Come on over. Check the video later this week for how to play everything. All the questions you guys want for online. How to do all that. So I will have that up. What else? I think that's everything, right? Miss Walker's half off right now just because everybody's on lockdown for the quarantine. So it's just $2 if you guys want to play a whole new class. I think it's pretty dope. And that's pretty much it. It's, support each other. Wash your hands. Is that what people keep saying? Don't touch your face. I don't know, guys. I don't know. All right, we're gonna take a break. In the stream, we're gonna go ahead and pop over on Twitch. I will see you guys over there. Adios.